Hey, it's Ash, and welcome back to Faith for Autism Moms. What do you do when you're exhausted from explaining yourself? When people question your decisions, your actions, even your emotions? And instead of offering support, they offer criticism. What do you do when someone refuses to understand your life but still feels entitled to judge how you handle it? And what do you do when you feel that scream rising in your chest? I want to bring you a surprising answer from God. One that has carried me through these moments again and again. Isaiah 26:20. We're going to break it down, talk about context, talk about motherhood, talk about Jesus himself stepping away to protect his heart. And by the end of this episode, you're going to understand something powerful. Moments of isolation are not selfish, they're sacred. Are you a Christian mom raising an autistic or medically complex child, questioning why God would allow your child to struggle, wondering if you'll ever be able to trust him again? You're in the right place. Hi, I'm Ash, mom of two, one autistic with a rare disease, and former Disney princess turned reverend, where I specialize in ministry coaching for autism moms to restore their faith and reconnect with God. If you're ready to heal, grow spiritually, and know God as your BFF, then grab that cozy blanket, take a deep breath, and let's transform your faith for good. Welcome to Faith for Autism Moms. Faith feels broken sometimes. Maybe it's been cracked open by fear, exhaustion, unanswered prayers, or life itself. I've been there, and I see you. That's why I created the Finding Your Faith workbook. This is not a quick fix. This is soul-level work. A 5-step framework I created to help you face what broke you, acknowledge your real emotions, invite God back into your story, rebuild trust, and step into true healing. If you're ready to stop carrying your doubts alone and actually transform your faith for good, this workbook was made for you. And the best part, it's completely free. Download your copy now at BeMightyMom.com/faith workbook. Take this step. Face the hard places, let God meet you there, and start walking in faith that lasts. Let me say something right now. We explain ourselves more than any other group of moms. And not in the cute, oh, let me tell you why we do this at bedtime kind of way. I mean, like, why we have to do it this way. We explain sensory needs, meltdowns, medical procedures, food allergies, feeding issues, therapies, routines, accommodations, visual schedules, calm down strategies, emergency plans, and the list goes on. We explain why we can't just roll with it, why transitions matter. We explain why we need predictability and why we have to cancel things. We explain why we're tired. We explain the same thing to the same people over and over and over, and somehow they still don't understand. Here's the hardest explanation we have to continue repeating. We also have to explain our emotions. We explain why we're overwhelmed, why we cried in the bathroom, why our voice sounds tense, why we cry every single Monday, why we went quiet, why we didn't answer the text right away. And instead of someone saying, "How can I support you better?" we get, "Well, you don't need to sound so rude. I think you're overreacting. It's not that serious. You're being dramatic. You're too sensitive. You're making this bigger than it is. Relax." But seriously, what people like this don't understand is we're not just explaining what happened. We're explaining the entire unseen mental load behind it. And somehow they feel entitled to judge the one moment we finally cracked. And it makes you want to scream. Like a primal scream, like scream into your pillow so you don't go to prison scream. And those moments, what are we supposed to do? God has an answer for that. Isaiah 26:20, "Go, my people, enter your rooms and shut the doors behind you. Hide yourselves for a little while until his wrath has passed by." Now let's talk about context for a second, because I know someone listening loves context and same, and it might not make sense, but it does. Just, oh boy, this one gets me. Isaiah is speaking to the people of Judah during a time of coming judgment, a literal historical event. God tells them to go inside, close the doors, and wait while he deals with what is happening outside. Not because they were weak or because they were running away, not because they were overreacting, but because the storm was outside and was not theirs to stand in. God was saying to them, this battle is not yours. Step inside. Shut the door. Let me handle what isn't meant for you. Now let's bring that into our world, okay? Sometimes the disagreement is the storm. The misunderstanding is the storm. The judgment, the dismissal, the interrogation of your emotions, that is the storm. And God, in his kindness, is telling you, you don't have to stay in this. You don't have to defend yourself right now. You don't have to keep pushing to be understood. Step away. Close the door. Let me deal with this. And this is not avoidance or weakness. This is wisdom. This is God saying, I see how much you're carrying. You're allowed to step away. And some of us grew up believing that stepping away is selfish or dramatic, rude, or even unchristlike. But what if I told you stepping away is biblical? Yeah, it's holy. It is obedience. Taking space does not make you fragile. It makes you wise. The world will tell you that you should be able to handle it better. You should explain yourself calmly. You should be more patient and not give you space, not time to process, nothing. React perfectly in the moment. But God says, come inside, daughter. Shut the door. Rest your heart while I handle what's happening outside. Moments of isolation are not selfish. They're sacred. They're where God meets you, where your nervous system comes back to life, where the Holy Spirit breathes over your exhaustion. You're not running away. You're regrouping. If anyone had the right to step away, it was Jesus. And he stepped away regularly. Let me show you. In Mark 1:35, Jesus withdrew early to be alone with the Father. Before the crowds, before the demands, before the disciples' questions, Jesus protected his heart with solitude and connected with God, just as we should. In Matthew 14:13, after John the Baptist died, Jesus withdrew to a solitary place. His heart was hurting. His emotions were heavy. He didn't apologize for needing space. He simply stepped away. In Luke 5:16, Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. He modeled regular, intentional retreat. Luke 6:12, before choosing the disciples, Jesus spent the entire night alone in prayer. He got clarity in solitude. Jesus didn't justify stepping away. He didn't defend it. He didn't even ask permission. He took space because his heart needed it. So when someone tells you that you're being dramatic, overreacting, too emotional, you can simply remember, you don't even need to say it out loud. If Jesus stepped away, so can I. Let's bring this into a real scenario. The ones that moms like us raising autistic or medically complex children face every single day. Let's say someone accuses you of overreacting. Instead of explaining your entire emotional history, because let's be real, they won't understand anyways, and they'll be like, well, you need to take a break. You can simply say, I need a minute. Then shut the door, literally or figuratively. Let's say someone refuses to understand your child's needs. Instead of educating the same person for the 57th time, you can say, I'm stepping away from this conversation for now. Let's say someone comments on your tone. You can say, I'm overwhelmed. I'll talk when I'm calm. Simple, but literally groundbreaking, right? Groundbreaking. Maybe you feel yourself about to snap. Remember Isaiah 26:20. Go inside. Shut the door. Hide for a little while. This is not weakness. This is Holy Spirit wisdom. Let's say you're emotionally depleted from decision fatigue, right? Therapies, medical decisions, whatever it might be. Give yourself permission to pause without explanation. You don't have to justify your exhaustion. It's already valid. The hidden place, the room where you shut the door, it is not punishment. It's a gift. It is where God refuels your spirit, protects you, and God strengthens you. When the world misunderstands you, God sees the truth. When people minimize your load, God honors it. When others say, you're too much, God says, you're carrying more than they will ever understand. Rest here with me. Your moments of stepping away are not selfish. They're sacred. You're allowed to protect your heart. God meets you behind that closed door. Shut it and listen.
Hi, goodbye.
I hope this episode helped you feel closer to God and recharged in your faith. I pray it validated and healed you in ways you didn't think were possible. If it did, would you share this episode with another mom who needs it? It would mean the world to me too if you would leave a review. And lastly, make sure to subscribe to our newsletter for weekly devotions sent straight to your inbox. Subscribe at BeMightyMom.com/newsletter. Talk to you soon, friend. Now, go be mighty, mom.